computer. All right, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to Knuckles Family and Friends NFL Week 2 podcast picks with my boys Jabari and Pat. Now, unfortunately, it's just gonna be us three for today. Steve and Ryan are working, but Ryan did give me his picks for this week. Steve, I'm not sure what he's doing. Maybe he's giving me his picks as we speak right now, but can't wait any longer. The show's gotta go on, and I'm gonna say this right now. My picks for last week suck. I'm 9-7 for last week. Ryan's 8-8. Steven get to me on his. So Pat, I'm waiting to hear from you. From you. What's your record from last week?
I gotta look back, dude. It wasn't good, so I didn't want to. It is not good. I tried to be clever with some of my picks, and it didn't pay off. I'll get back to you on it. I was too ashamed to even look. It's pretty bad.
It's worse than 8-8.
Probably.
All right. Well, Jabari, say what you.
I guess I got the best one so far. Then I'm 11-5.
Oh damn!
Yeah.
By far the best one.
That's by far, yeah. I don't know how that happened.
Special appearance right here from Mr. Meatball the Bulldog.
That's our first special guest. Our first special guest.
The Georgia Bulldog right here, man. Trying to get in here.
Maybe he might give you some luck with the picks.
I hope so. I need it. Lord knows I need
it. Yeah, that's funny. Before we get on with our picks, have y'all been watching any of the NBA playoffs right now? Seeing the Clippers choke a couple days ago.
Yeah. Paul George, man. He's not a winner. Paul George isn't a winner.
Yeah, you gonna go ahead and say it like that?
Yeah, I mean, every time something happens with Paul George, but he's not consistent. So whatever team he's on, they don't win. I'm just gonna say that.
That's a shame. That's a shame. I'm laughing at it because I'm a LeBron fan, as you know, but all season long people are saying the Clippers, Kawhi's that dude. Well, I'm gonna say this. Yeah, LeBron has his choking moments, but I've never seen LeBron up 3-1 and then ruining those games.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever happened.
I don't think it's ever happened in his career. Yeah. And you got to look at Doc Rivers, man. That's the third time you lost a 3-1 lead. So he's probably he might get fired. He might get fired.
It's too hard for me to watch right now because I love Jimmy Butler. I love Jimmy Butler as a Sixer, and I didn't want him to go. I didn't want him to leave.
Oh my God, man! Jimmy. Don't get me started.
It's hard to watch, dude.
I'm happy for him. Don't get me wrong, but he definitely put an Embiid in check. He was right. We didn't have any winners on our team. They just want to party and shit like that. And Brett Brown, I look at
Ben Simmons needs to start shooting.
What's up?
That's number one. Ben Simmons needs to start shooting. That's number one right there.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler was the accountability factor. He wasn't going to let things slide, which is what you need when you have young, talented players and you don't have a coach that necessarily wants to do that. The Sixers were great. But would Allen Iverson have done as great as he did without Larry Brown pushing him at times? Larry Brown had he wasn't a pushover. You weren't going to get around on Larry Brown. And I think that helped bring the best out of Allen Iverson at times. Sometimes it was tumultuous and they didn't always get along. But he was exactly what I think Iverson needed. But Jimmy Butler was exactly I thought what we needed. He was going to be the guy that if you're not. If Embiid's not staying in shape, he's not going to be cool with that. If Simmons isn't going to shoot the ball, and all right, you won't shoot, somebody else will shoot, and we'll find a way around it. And it just seemed they decided to stay with Brett Brown over Jimmy Butler, and I love Jimmy Butler's so Philly. Is there anybody? He just has the dog in him, right?
He held people accountable. I remember that one game, the one playoff game last year against the Nets. Where, the guy got into Embiid and Butler was not having that, man. He's come from that cloth, man. He ain't scared of anybody. And now here he is. Now we went to Miami. I'm okay, what's in Miami? Well, he's proving me wrong right now. He's up 2-0 in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, they're doing really good.
You just I mean, you just get that. I mean, you get that team another All-Star for next year. Yo, man, I definitely say the Heat will definitely be the favorites in the East. I mean, then again, I mean, it depends on how much of a healthy KD you're getting next year in Brooklyn.
That's true.
It's just it's too painful for me to watch because I loved everything about it. I thought Jimmy Butler was exactly what the Sixers needed, and he gave us that spark. I mean, they were, if it wasn't for the shot of the decade of Kawhi Leonard, like, that could have been us last year going to the finals, winning the title. So,
yeah.
And I was just, dude, I was heartbroken when we got rid of Jimmy Butler. I thought it was the wrong, and now I can't watch it. It's like, it's too painful.
How many mistakes do the Sixers just keep on doing? Each year we're like, okay, we're getting there. And Jimmy Butler has probably been like maybe the biggest loss we've had in like, great, he's only been there for 1 year, but like the impact that guy had, man, it hurts.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely hurts.
Yeah.
But on a lighter note, let's feel a little bit better with these picks right now. And so, granted, I didn't watch games. I didn't have NFL Network, but I watched the highlights. But the Bengals and the Browns played on Thursday. I had the Browns winning that game because I feel as though Baker needs to step up. Like, it's his third year. If he has another bad season, like, I'm not saying he might. I don't know what his future in the Cleveland would be, but he might get traded or they might put him on second string. But like, this is his last year to prove himself, and he did a good job. I mean, not the greatest job, but he definitely showed up. I mean, Joe, the rookie, I mean, he showed a little bit something. I'm not gonna front. He showed me a little bit something, but and I'm still not gonna scare. I'm not scared of the Bengals when we played them later on this season. But like I said, the Browns won that. I didn't have too much to say on that game because I couldn't watch it. So I don't know if you guys picked the Browns to win that game or not.
I did.
Yeah, I was picking the Browns. I mean, I didn't officially. Yeah.
I feel like I didn't really learn anything from that game. Like either team could have won. Like it was like a really high scoring game, but at the same time, like I still didn't really learn too much about what he's really gonna be.
Yeah, Joe Burrow throwing the ball over 40 times. I was kind of like, man, rookie QB, second start in the NFL, you have him throwing it 40 times. I mean, he threw 3 touchdown passes, so he looked, good at times. But you're not. I mean, I don't know. You're not doing your rookie quarterback any favors when you throw the ball 40 times. I mean, it's just. I know they're playing from behind early, but yeah, I don't know. They got a good running back there, dude. Joe Mixon's legit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Why aren't you
utilize him?
I feel as they want to show off, like, hey, this is what Joe can do. I feel that's what a lot of coaches like to do. They're like, hey, I'm gonna show what my quarterback can do. I mean, that's cool and all, but you want to get that running game going. Like, especially if you're a rookie QB, you don't want to have him throw the ball 40 times. Like, I understand if you're behind a lot, but throwing the ball 40 times for a rookie QB, I just don't like that.
I don't like that for any quarterback in general. I don't like if you're running the ball 40 times. I mean, I'm sorry, passing the ball 40 times. You're probably not running the ball all that much. I mean, it depends on how the amount of plays in the game. But I mean, like for the Eagles game, they threw the ball like 43 times and they ran it 16 times. It's like, dude, it's too predictable at that point. It's way too easy to play defense when
defense will adjust and they'll start blitzing. Like, well, for us. They had wins. I mean, I guess since we're talking about the Eagles, we'll start off with the Rams at Eagles, and we'll
what happened with that?
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing right now.
The Eagles?
Me and Pat,
they came out so strong, and then.
Well, me and Pat talked about this after the game. Is that coaches didn't make any adjustments. Like you're up 17-0. Why aren't you gonna try at least running the ball? I understand the running game's not working very well, but you don't want to be very one-dimensional. And not only that, you barely did any play action. You had Wentz stay in the pocket like pretty much every play. Eventually, the defense kept getting closer and closer and closer. They kept blitzing. Like they made the adjustments. And since they had Wentz stay in the pocket like on every play, like the Skins capitalized over that. And it's funny how we were up 17-0 against Ron Rivera last time when he was playing for the Panthers. So coaching, man, like. That's just my basically. I mean, don't get me wrong. Wentz had a bad game, but like, I'm going to start with the coach because you didn't put your players in the best position, and you had the Skins just hit Wentz all over the place, man. Like it was bad, man. Like he just got away from what was working in the first half, and then just completely ignored it to make any adjustments. And he's supposed to be the second half type of guy. Like he makes halftime adjustments, but I didn't see that in that game. But I mean, Pat can go off like all day. He can say more English shit to me, honestly.
Oh yeah, I mean, because you come out like I think it's like what you're saying, Ara. Like they came out and they looked so good because why? Like there's an element of what are they going to do? We don't know what they're going to do, and it can take a couple of quarters if you're the Washington football team to be like, okay, like this is what they're doing. So you have to continue to switch things up. If you stay like, and while they were trying to figure us out, we were cruising, right? So when there's that element of, are they going to pass? Are they going to run? Are they going to do play action? We're cruising down the field and we're putting up 17 points. But when you stay with that same exact approach, they made their adjustments and we never adjusted. And we became way too one-dimensional. And sometimes I think that's what happens with Doug is when he tries to press, like when things go bad, like he tries to it's almost like a basketball player who shoots and they're ice cold and they try to shoot their way hot again. Like they just keep shooting. But like what we needed to do was just, make it easier, run some screens, run the ball. When you have 15 runs, like we were up 17-0. We should have ran the ball 15 times in the first half. You know what I mean? Like you're at this point, like you got a right tackle in there who never played high school or college football in his life. He's from Australia, and he's lined up against Montez Sweat, who was considered one of the best defensive players in college football 2 years ago. On the other side, you have Peters, who has practiced first off, he wasn't even signed until a month and a half ago. And then he took all of his snaps at guard in training camp. And then they're like, oh, okay, we're going to put him at tackle. Oh, by the way, you're going up against the number 2 overall pick, Chase Young, who's a stud, Yeah. And then you got a rookie guard, and he's going against Jonathan Allen, a rookie undrafted, whatever guard, going against a stud of 3 years ago, one of the best defensive tackles coming out of Alabama. And it's like, make their life easy and stop calling passes every single play because the defensive ends just go into pass rush mode. They don't need to respect it could be a screen. Or they don't need to respect maybe we need to keep containment and not just bull rush through. And it just, he didn't make it easy on these rookies and these guys that were getting their first, piece of, taste of the NFL. He didn't make it easy on Wentz. He just keeps dropping them back there and he's getting smashed. And the guy's trying to, Carson tries to do too much at times. And that was just you combine Doug pressing and Carson trying to play hero ball, and it's just, it blows up real quick.
Yeah, which is actually one of my keys. This is one of the keys we got to do to play against the Rams, because I was watching that Rams and Cowboys game on Sunday night, and what I saw from the Rams on offense was they did a lot of play action, quick pass. Like Goff got rid of the ball in 2 seconds because I think the Cowboys' strength on defense is that front. And I'm going to say this. He didn't play the greatest game, but Aldon Smith did not play a bad game. He played a decent game. If he continues on playing like that, it's going to be a problem, and he'll most likely win comeback player of the year. Not playing
He's a freak.
Yeah, to not play in season and play that and do well this season, it'll be super huge. But yeah, they did a lot of play action against the Cowboys defense, which we barely did any play action against Washington, which is beyond me. But we have to do a lot of play action because we can't have Wentz staying there in the pocket with Aaron Donald bull rushing our offensive lineman. Now, not to say that our offensive lineman is bad on the left side at least, because I think Kelsey can pull his own, but we got to do play action and keep the Rams defense off their toes, because we're not going to have a good rush like the Skins, but you still got to show Aaron Donald his respect though, and you still got Ramsey on the other side. So I mean, I want to get that running game going. But I will say this will be our first test for what the defense can actually truly do, because I think it was reported that the defense was number one because they didn't have that many yards allowed, which is that's cool and all, but remember, we're going against Haskins, and he's not that great of a QB. Goff's a bit better, and I would say a lot better than he's a lot better than Haskins, and I want to see what Slay can do against, Robert Woods or Reynolds. Hey, man, this is what we got you for. Show us what we can do. So I'm hoping Schwartz does some man-to-man, at least for Slay, because Slay's better at man-to-man. So, and I think Lane's coming back, which is good. But at the same time, though, He didn't get his reps, so I'm not sure how he's gonna be. Miles Sanders should be coming back. I'm not sure he's gonna be starting sloppy or not. I think Brandon Graham passed concussion protocol, so he should be back. But I think when you said this before last week, I want to see Josh Sweat getting some starts. I think Vinny Curry. Well, who would no? So Derek Brown. I don't think is Derek Brown not playing this game. I don't think he is.
I've heard that the most recent thing I read was that he's probably going to play, but yeah, Josh Sweat was very highly graded.
He was, I think, a second.
Focus after week 1. Yeah, he played very well, and he's earned it. He's earned his way in when you. Yeah. He
should stay on that side. So, like I said, I want to see what our defense can do because our defense is still good against stopping the run. Not the number one, but they've always been in the top 10 or 5 versus under Jim Schwartz against stopping the run. So I really want to see what they're going to do against that Rams offense. So, like I said, I feel as though this could be our bounce back game because I go back to what history showed us is that 2017 we lost against Seattle, we beat the Rams next game. 2018 we lost against the Cowboys, we beat the Rams next game. So I mean, I understand history doesn't really play into a part of these picks, but I mean, it makes me feel a little bit good, but it just comes down to what is Peterson going to do, what changes he's going to make. So it starts with him. I believe Wentz will play better. I believe the line will play better. My question is, what is our coach going to do? That's my question.
I agree. I think having Miles Sanders back will be a huge help. I think they'll actually have the confidence to run the football because they got Miles Sanders back. And he's significantly better in pass protection than Boston Scott and Corey Clement. Those guys were getting ran over. They were missing their blocks. It looked like they were confused. They didn't know where they were supposed to be at. So it'll help out with Carson's confidence too. I think having him back there in pass protection. So I think overall I'm leaning towards the Eagles in that game. But again, like you said, if you tell me right now that Peterson's going to do another 40 passes to 15 runs, I'm picking the Rams all day. I'm hoping that he's learned his lesson. And
tough. He has a tough decision.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say he'll be a bit more balanced and the Eagles will win. But I mean, I'm not going to be stunned if he decides to go pass happy again and they lose.
Yeah. Plus, I also say this for Peterson. I'm not sure if he looks at the top coaches or anything like that because I truly do believe he's a better coach than Sean McVay. Maybe he can show to people, hey, this is why I should be ranked higher in my coaching because he never lost to Sean McVay so far. So I'll just say that. But yeah, I'm picking the Eagles. Like I said, I'm too many choosing more of my heart because I don't want to see us going 0-2. But I'm also saying, I just think Peterson, when Peterson makes the adjustments, he's a good coach. But when he doesn't, he drives me crazy. Now, like I said, I don't want to change the subject, but something just popped to my mind is that last year against the Cowboys, it was the home game against the Cowboys. Me and Pat were messaging each other. The way how we played against the Cowboys, we should have scored more points because we were going down the field a lot. But there's a lot of plays where it was third and short or fourth and short. We had no one running back in the backfield. I'm like, why are you doing that right now? It's shit like that. Makes me kills me about Peterson. But like I said, I'm hoping he can just make the adjustments because right now I'm saying this. You took a lot of pressure by naming yourself the offensive coordinator as well. So if you screw this up right now, we're going to look at you and be like, maybe it was Frank Wright that, this is more of our credit more than you. So I understand the second game of the season, but Peterson, man, you got to show your stuff. All right, Jabari, Giants lover, it's all on you now.
I'm actually going to go with the Rams on this one. The Cowboys barely lost to the Rams, and I feel like the Cowboys are already they pretty much have the similar tools as the Eagles, but better. So if they manage to beat the Cowboys, then I think that the Rams have a better shot at beating the Eagles. And the Eagles kind of didn't show too much promise that game, so I'm gonna have to go with the Rams on this one.
All right, so.
Yeah.
All right, so me and Pat got the Rams. We got the Eagles.
The Eagles.
All right, and you got the Rams. I'll say this before we move on. The one thing about the Rams that like kind of like puzzled me on the game against the Cowboys, they were like I said, they had time of possession really, really high, but they only scored 20 points and they were in the red zone a lot. Like honestly, they should have scored more points, in my opinion, in that game because they had time of possession all the way up. And I think they missed a field goal and I think they might have missed a fourth down. I can't really fully remember, but I think they could have scored more points. They really do any like explosive passes as well too. It was all like short passes. So, but like I said, it was only the first game. So I mean, we'll get the real teams by like maybe week 5 or week 6 or 7. Who knows? All right, Jabari. Now you might like me for this one. So since we're talking about the Eagles, I'm going to go to the Giants. Now, what was your take against the game?
Right. You got Giants win, huh?
Yeah, Giants and Bears. So what was your take on the first game against the Steelers?
I thought the Giants played pretty good considering. Roethlisberger's back. The Steelers' defense is, notoriously really good. They put up a really good fight. I mean, they really pushed the ball at a lot of times. Jones had like a random interception. I was like super bad, but it was kind of like a fluke type of interception. So
I don't think which one took for Cam Hayward or the one from Watt?
Cam Hayward.
What was that?
Was it the Cam Hayward one?
The
one where he just kind of he was under pressure and he just kind of like threw it up into the end zone and Cam Hayward came down with it.
And that got tipped too, so it's like,
I'm not gonna lie. Like when he had that drive, I'm not gonna front. Something in my head was
it was pretty impressive, right?
It was impressive, but something was telling me, I'm like, yo, I think he's gonna mess this up. Like something in my head was like, he's going to mess this up, and so be it. Like he literally like run to the weak side, and I don't know where he was trying to throw it. Like try to throw it away. Like that parlay, I'm like, that just ruined the momentum right there.
Yeah, pretty much a sealed deal after that one.
Yeah, the Steelers' defense looked so good, though. I mean, they were all over the place, and it looked like they were just in perfect, like they were in unison, and Dupree was everywhere. I mean, they were blitzing, and I mean, I don't know, man. Daniel Jones was under pressure. I thought that New York hung in there for a little while, but those couple of mistakes, Pittsburgh made them pay for, especially that interception in the end zone there, like. You're playing a team like Pittsburgh, like you gotta, you can't have stuff like that. But I thought that Daniel Jones looked good. I mean, Saquon didn't really get going because, I'm guessing the offensive line. Yeah,
that offensive line is still bad, man.
Yeah, it's hard, man. Daniel Jones was under pressure all night. Saquon couldn't find the holes. But I liked Slayton. I thought, Slayton looked good and Daniel Jones looked good. And I'm picking the Giants over the Bears in week 2.
I'm not gonna lie. I was picking the Bears, but I was watching the highlights from the Lions and Bears game.
Bears barely won.
They barely won. And Trubisky, man, he's still not that great. And I don't trust me. And the Bears defense, they were letting like AP like run like circles around them. I'm like, yo, I thought this game was supposed to play a lot better. Like, and that drop touchdown pass, man, like. That was the Lions game.
Tragic.
That was the Lions game right there. And like after watching those highlights, I hate to say it, but I'm picking the Giants to win that game.
As am I.
Yeah.
Got the Giants, boy.
Yeah.
So we all got the Giants for that one.
We all got the Giants. All right. So all got the Giants. Yeah. All right. Let me see. Oh wait, actually, no, I forgot. So Ryan, I forgot. He actually
what about Ryan?
He picked the Bears. I
don't trust Mitch Trubisky to be. I just don't see Mitch Trubisky's Bears being 2-0. I just don't see it.
No. Unless he has that random good game, like he'll have a random good game, and that's it. I just don't see it because he just made a lot of mistakes. And here's the thing: they have good offensive players. Don't get me wrong; they have good offensive players. So my thing is this with the Bears. I still think the Giants will win. They have a pretty decent running game, and when the Steelers face the Giants, they're running the ball all over the place. So, granted, they have the Bears don't have a better offensive line, but they still have Montgomery and Cohen. So we'll see what happens with those guys. Excuse me.
So us through the Giants, Ryan with the Bears.
Yeah, like I said, Steve's like MIA, so we don't know what's gonna happen with him. All right, so next game I got here are the Falcons and Cowboys, and I say either two things can happen with this game. Either the Cowboys destroy the Falcons, or it's gonna be a high score game because I was looking at the highlights from the Falcons and Seattle game. The Falcons were like moving the ball pretty well, but there was just a lot of like play question with Dan Quinn, like going for it on like fourth and like something, and they didn't capitalize off of that because once they didn't capitalize off of that, the Seahawks took their advantage. And granted, Seattle's a way better team, but I feel as though the Falcons were hanging in there a little bit, but then they just did like dumb mistakes from that standpoint. And so I look at both teams on offense. I mean, Falcons have Julio, Ridley. They got some good receivers on that team. Same with Cowboys. They got they got Cooper, Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb. And I would say the Cowboys definitely have the better defense because I look at the Falcons defense. Yeah, you got Deion Jones and Keanu Neal, but that's the only two guys that I know so far. So that being said, I hate saying this, but I feel as though Cowboys have too much on offense, to not, destroy these guys. Now, granted, anything can happen any given Sunday, but I feel as though the Cowboys have too much firepower on offense. Like I said, I think that defense is going to start coming together maybe a little bit. That's because that front's good. So I'm not sure what – and Gurley, I like Gurley, but he's not the same. So I'm not sure how much of a running game Gurley's going to have. So I'm going to pick the Cowboys to win the game, and I think they'll like destroy the Falcons. As much as I like the Falcons, I have them down in Atlanta. I just don't see them being the Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm with you. Well, like I said before, the Cowboys barely lost, so I think we're going to see like an angry Cowboys team right here, and they're going to destroy the Falcons. My pick.
All right, so me.
I am going to go. I'm going to go with the Falcons. I think that the Seahawks are next. I mean, I think Russell Wilson. I was saying at our last, call here. I think he's the best. I think he's the best quarterback in the league. I thought that the Falcons kind of got a little pass happy too. But I think the Cowboys, I got to see how they're going to do without Blake Jarwin. They just lost their starting tight end for the rest of the year. They just lost Van Der Esch. Van Der Esch is out. So now you got more injuries on the defensive side of the ball. I thought Gurley played well for Atlanta for his first start over there. When he got the ball, I don't think they gave him enough touches. Yeah, I don't know. I just the Falcons have played Dallas strong in the past, and I think Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, and Gurley. I'll take them on a banged up Cowboys defense right now. I just I don't know. I mean, the Falcons put up 25 points against the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks have a better defense currently than the Cowboys do. So I think they're going to put up some more points.
Well, then Jamal Adams and Bobby Wagner, those are two of the top defensive players out there. So I can see a point with that. But I said Cowboys defense. Scheme. What's up?
Plus their scheme. I mean, just every year the Seahawks seem to they get after you.
That's true.
I don't know. I don't know if I see Dak Prescott, coming out there with a 3 or 4 touchdown game right now. They're still kind of finding their way under McCarthy. So I think it's hurting them not having any of the preseason games and not having like that continuity to practice. So I'll take Matt Ryan and the Falcons in that one.
For the Cowboys, I just feel as though, and this, I don't know how many times we say this all the time. And for even people that hate the Cowboys, it's Zeke, man. He runs that offense because Zeke looked good in that game against the Rams. He looked good. Now, I think the reason why they lost the game is because that 4th and 3. I was kind of questioning, like, why would you go for it? And I understand you want to be aggressive, get the lead, but I just think that going on 4th and 3 was not a smart idea. It's almost – I think even Jason Garrett would have probably kicked the field goal, honestly.
Yeah, I thought they should have gave Zeke more touches in the game. He only had like 21, 22 touches, and then Dak was throwing the ball like 40 times. And I don't know. I know McCarthy, when he was in Green Bay, didn't really value the run. And I think they got to – it runs through Zeke, like you said. You know, it's got to go through Zeke. Like, in my opinion, he should be getting 25 to 30 carries a game, and they should be running the play action pass and setting it up for Dak like that. And kind of like, you know, like the Giants used to do back when they had Eli and they went on their Super Bowl runs. It ran through Brandon Jacobs. It set up the play of action packs, Plaxico Burress.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think the Cowboys have to do. And they got the edge rushers on defense. I think like they can, but they got to find their way on offense. So I think they'll eventually find it because they got all the talent there. But I just think like not having the preseason is hurting them, not having the reps, the continuity of playing in a new scheme. So I'm going to pick Atlanta. I think Gurley has a good game.
All right, so we're 2 for 2. Me and Jabari got the Cowboys. You and Ryan got the Falcons. Now the next game, I didn't decide. I needed to hear from what you guys think because I'm puzzled because it might seem like this other team would win, but I keep thinking like, well, I'm not sure. And that's the Panthers at Bucks. I'm really torn between you two because I know it was week 1. The Bucks didn't look good. The Panthers looked all right. I'm not gonna. They looked okay, but like both teams, I'm just like not sure like who I want to pick because like I said Brady's got all that firepower, but it just didn't look that good in week 1. Now, granted, it was week 1, and they were still trying to like dwell things together, but I'm just not sure. Like something in my gut feeling is telling me I should pick the Panthers because if it's one thing I've seen with Tom Brady, maybe I'm lying, but he doesn't really lose 2 in a row. Granted, that was with the Patriots, though. He's a new
Not
team,
New England.
though. So I just don't know. Like I want to hear from what you guys think. Then y'all might persuade my vote or whatever. So the floor is all yours because like I said, I don't know who I'm going to pick for this game.
Almost for Jabari. He was 11 wins last week. He can go ahead.
I had the Bucks on this one. Like you said, Brady doesn't usually lose 2 games in a row. In both teams lost, Panthers and the Bucks. I feel like the Bucks have a little bit more firepower than the Panthers. Panthers have what McCaffrey, right?
Yeah. And Anderson played pretty well.
Many tools that the Bucks have. Who?
Well, they got they got Anderson. They have DJ Moore. They have receivers. They have weapons on offense. That's what I can really say. Defense, I think they're still trying to get well together. But like I said, I don't know. I just don't know.
I'm with
a close game though.
I'm with Jabari. I'm going Bucks. I just think talent-wise, you know, I just think the Bucks are the more talented team, and I think Brady's a better, you know, I just think the competitor in Brady, I think he's just going to come out and find a way, even if it's sloppy, which I could see it being like a sloppy win. But I just think he's going to somehow will them to a victory. I think they'll perform a little bit. I mean, the Saints are a heck of a team. I mean, they did get beat up pretty good against New Orleans, but New Orleans is arguably like a top 3 team in the NFC.
Super Bowl favorites for the past couple of years now.
Yeah, I mean, they got a heck of a lot of firepower on offense. They got a defense that gets after you with the defensive line down there. I'm picking the Bucks. I think they bounce back. Brady had a really bad showing, 2 interceptions. I think he plays a little bit better. I've been picking the Bucks.
All right. I mean, yeah, like I said,
what Ryan had.
Ryan's got the Bucks. Man, I'll make it 4 for 4. I'll pick the Bucks too. I'll pick the Bucks too. Because the other thing is this: I just feel as though everyone is overreacting to week 1. I mean, people are saying, "Oh, he and all that, this, that, and the third." Like, it's only week 1, guys. Like, y'all gotta chill with this stuff, man. Like, chill. Like, anything can still happen. Like, I've seen teams start bad and like end up doing well, you know what I mean? Or you see teams start doing well in the first part of the season, then start dwelling off. So I just feel as though people just might need to chill with the week 1, saying, oh, okay, Brady's watch and stuff like that. Like I said, and the question is still wondering, okay, who's it more, Belichick or Brady? But having said that, I am going to pick the Bucks. Like I said, 0-2. That's not going to happen with Brady. Like I said, you got too much firepower. I understand coaching comes along with it, but I mean, I'm going to choose Bruce Arians over a rookie head coach, honestly.
Very fair point.
All right, so this game, I mean, I'm not sure how much we're going to dwell on this. 49ers at the Jets. I got 49ers. Like I say, we've been saying Jets are a mess right now. They already lost Le'Veon Bell. So, but I mean, it would be a miracle if Jets win this game. Like, I'm
– and I'm on the limb with that one.
Maybe I am, but I mean, then again, they could be going through a Super Bowl hangover right now because I think we all picked the 49ers last week, and Kyler Murray beat those guys.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know Hopkins was gonna snap like he did last week.
Yeah.
Snap. Yeah,
First game. No preseason or anything. I mean, it just shows, man, Hopkins can play with any quarterback.
He's a stud, and that's I think goes to show Watson not having him, and then you see Murray having him. I mean, it speaks to his value. You know what I mean? Like Watson could have used him against Kansas City, and I don't think that the Cardinals win the game without him. I mean, he just took over. So, I mean, the guy's an absolute stud. I mean, he's not the best receiver in the league. It's him and Michael Thomas and top 2, top 3.
I'm going
Niners this game.
I still think, and this is playing speaking from my heart. I understand he's in his 10th season. I still like Julio Jones is number 1. That's just me. But if y'all want to see Michael Thomas as the best receiver right now, I can see your point with that. So, but Julio Jones is still my favorite receiver, though.
He's on my fantasy team, Julio. So I hope you're right, and that he's the best receiver.
Is that what you picked? Is that why you picked the Falcons for Sunday? Because you need those points.
I need him to snap, dude. I need him to pull DeAndre.
Yeah, I don't see any Cowboys corner stopping that guy. So you might have a chance right there.
Yeah, I saw Diggs for the Cowboys. I saw him get beat by the rookie on the Rams, Van Jefferson, on a deep pattern. That Van Jefferson, I'm interested in watching him. He's out of Florida, I believe. He had a decent little. I've heard a lot of good things about him in training camp for the Rams this year. Not to get off topic, but I think he's someone to watch this week for the Eagles. But yeah, staying on topic. I'm going with who you're picking, RL. Very, very brave of us. I'm going with the Niners bounce back game.
Even without Richard Sherman, they'll be fine.
Yeah, the Jets are bums. so yeah.
I just feel bad for Sam Darnold, man. Like I just think it's playing. Speaking of Sam Darnold, it's really, if you look at it, Darnold and Baker. I need to stop because they all got drafted in the same class. Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, they're doing better. And not to change subjects, but Josh Rosen, he's getting a slice of humble pie, man. He is getting a slice of humble pie at this fullest because he's like, all those who didn't draft me, they're all going to pay. It's like, bro, you got drafted like 10th or something like that. You got drafted in the first round. Lamar just got drafted like the last person. Yeah, guys that didn't even get drafted. You over here saying, y'all didn't draft me when you got drafted. Like, I'm like, F out of here, bro. Like, you ain't with the Cardinals, which I believe you should have stayed. I feel like you got screwed over, but they have a better quarterback now, and now you're backup right now. So it's like, humble pie, man. Don't ever I'm telling you, man, rookies need to stay quiet about this type of stuff, man. Humble pie.
Yeah, he was trying to pull an Aaron Rodgers with that. Like when Rodgers fell all the way down to like 20, whatever he fell to, and everybody then he came out and lit the world on fire after Favre left. And I felt like he was trying to steal that whole oh man, I slipped. Like you said, you slipped to 10, dude. There was a lot of good quarterbacks in that class. It's like, yeah, he was a little arrogant the way he came off at the time. I remember.
Yeah, I love me some humble pie. So it is what it is. Like he might maybe take over in the Bucks. Who knows? But humble pie. All right. Next game, we got the Broncos at Steelers. I got Steelers. They think Drew Lock is just coming into like a bad defense right now. Like bad as in like these guys are gonna like rip your head off right now. So bad place now. He did look okay against the Titans, but like I said, it was the Titans defense, and he couldn't really score that many points. I think he only scored like maybe 14 in that game on Monday night. So I just feel as though you're going against a better defense, and I honestly see the Steelers like destroying the Broncos. I'll say that Drew Lock throws like either fumbles or throws a few picks.
Yeah, Drew Lock played like a conservative game. I felt against the like he was taking a lot of short pass. I agree. I think the Steelers are going to get after him. I liked what I saw from Pittsburgh, man. I liked their defense. They looked aggressive.
Yeah.
They were just clicking. I like Pittsburgh. From what I saw, if they can stay healthy. I mean, even last year, like people forget. I mean, they missed the playoffs by like one game, and they didn't have Ben Roethlisberger the entire year. So I mean, like, they were hanging in there with some poor quarterback play. They were still winning games.
That's where coaching, coaching really helps at that point.
Yeah. Tomlin's Tomlin's a good coach. He's a G.
Yeah. I hate to say it, but the Giants are like good practice for the Steelers. they like got some good practice, and I think they're like rolling right now. So
honestly,
got this one.
Not to change the topic. I think we were all saying, the Chiefs, don't get stop the Chiefs. Well, that I understand it's week 1, but that Steelers defense, especially that front, man, like that. So I could say this. I think these are the top teams in the AFC right now, despite only being week 1. Let's go in order. I'm saying the Chiefs number 1. I can't believe I'm saying I'm going with the Steelers number 2. I like Baltimore. I want to see what happens when Baltimore and the Steelers play each other, and then maybe I might switch it around. But those are, for me in the AFC, those are the 3 tops in the AFC, in my opinion, though.
Yeah, I gotta wait and see, but I still want to see, like you were saying. I think a lot of people are reacting strongly after 1 week of play, considering there was no preseason, very limited training camp stuff. So I gotta wait and see who's for real and who's faking right now,
Yeah.
And who's still got to just gel a little bit. Some of these teams might start slow, but as they start to gel and kind of get more, playing time together, the players might find their chemistry, their rhythm, their timing and stuff. So you might see like some completely different performances in week 2, and all of a sudden everyone's tune changes on like certain teams. So I got to wait and see, but I'm looking forward to it. I mean, if everybody stays healthy on both those teams, those are going to be 2 fun games when the Steelers play the Ravens twice this year. It's going to be fun football.
No doubt. So I guess we all have the Steelers for this game.
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
All right. So we got I've got to ask what Ryan was. Okay, he had the pretty sure he had the 49ers still. Yeah, he had 49ers, and we were at the Broncos, at Steelers. Oh my God! Don't tell me. Oh, he picked the Broncos.
Really?
The hell?
Going bold.
I guess he's trying to get. I think he's trying to get to 11-5 too. I still don't know how the hell he got 11-5, which is some bullshit, but whatever.
Hater.
I am a hater, man. I'm a hater. All right.
Hater.
I'm a full blood hater. If you ain't gotta lie, I ain't gonna lie about that. All right. So next game, I don't know. I didn't know who to pick because when I picked this team to lose last week, and we have the Jags at Titans, and the Jags did not look that bad against the Colts. Now I feel as though Phillip Rivers kind of ruined that game for the Colts. They might throw it like he just wasn't making the right decisions, especially when that line was helping him out. He just wasn't making good decisions. Now, what's the Jags quarterback's name again? He has that one.
Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, I keep forgetting his name. I mean,
Minshew.
It looked okay, but I feel as though the Titans. I want to say the Titans might win this, but it's a divisional game. I'm not 100% sure. Granted, the Titans line is not like the Colts line, so I'm not sure how much they're going to stack in the box against Derrick Henry. And they do have a good front for the Titans, so I just don't know. Like I said, divisional games, anything can happen. Like I said, I want to say the Titans, but like I said, I just don't know. Maybe the Jags might pull another upset right now. So, like I said, the floor is yours for y'all to help me out with this pick.
Yeah, I'm not convinced with the Jags. The Jags played good, but I'm not a believer just yet. I think the Titans are gonna beat them. Derrick Henry's super good still, so don't see it.
And he has his day, and he has good games against the Jags too. Like he had, remember that run? It was like that 99 run. I mean, shit.
I'll be the one that's going against the grain.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with the Jags, just because I trust Gardner Minshew more than I do Tannehill. Like I'm not a Tannehill. I think Derrick Henry's a stud. But
that's what you said last week.
I don't. There's something about Tannehill that I just don't trust, and Gardner Minshew is just like he interests me a little bit. Like, he just somehow finds ways to win games.
He's got that character.
Yeah, he just kind of
has
like
that. Fitzgerald on the Dolphins. Like he's like, like surprising wins out of nowhere.
He's kind of like he's gritty and like he just kind of it's not always pretty. I mean, granted, like last week he played well. He threw 3 touchdown passes. Certain games he just finds a way to win. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's possible. I mean, Derrick Henry could just go off and snap and just win the game by himself because that's what he does. But I'm hoping that the Jags just, stack the box and, make that very difficult for the Titans to just run the ball down their throat. And I just don't trust Ryan Tannehill. I'm taking the Jags.
Well, Ryan picked the Titans, so I will side with Pat on this one. Make it 2 for 2. So I'm not gonna let you go out there alone. So we'll make this
Appreciate
even.
You.
We'll make this even.
Appreciate you.
I got you, bro. I got you. All right. So next game we got the Lions and Packers, and I mean, you want to talk about Rodgers going off that last week, man? Like scored like 4 points against that Minnesota defense, man. Like you called it, man. Like honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Even if they had the crowd, I don't think that was gonna stop Aaron Rodgers right there. Like he's playing pissed off this season. So I'm going with the Packers. Like he's like I said, Stafford's a good quarterback. They know the Packers. He's been playing against Packers for like his whole entire career, but I just think Rodgers has a chip on his shoulder this year, and he showed it a little bit last week. Now, granted, it's week 1. I understand that, but I think it's more to come. Especially against a Detroit defense. That's I don't know. Do you think Detroit has a good defense? I don't think they do.
They're not bad. The Lions played pretty good last week, and they were pretty decent last season too.
It is against Trubisky. It was against Trubisky, and they've blown that lead too. So like I think that's coaching, in my opinion. But I just feel still like Rodgers can do more against this Lions defense than we did on the. I mean, granted, he might not score 40 points again, but I just don't feel still the Lions defense have a big defense compared to like Minnesota's.
Yeah, I like same thing we were talking about last week. I think Rodgers is one of those guys that definitely has like a bit of a ego. He
definitely does.
Like subtly,
he definitely does.
He drops it. The media doesn't like dive into it the way that they do certain other players, but like when you listen to his press conferences and like even in the offseason, like he did a radio show and he was talking about he had no idea they were going to draft Jordan Love. And he was like completely taken aback by it. He didn't like the pick. I mean, he was very like, what the hell kind of, and why are we not getting help for me? We were in the NFC Championship game last year. So I figured he was going to come out with a chip on his shoulder. And I think he's going to play that way all year so long as he stays healthy. I think he's going to, him and Russ Wilson are going to be competing for MVP in my opinion. Pat Mahomes, of course, and Lamar, all those guys. But, I'm going Green Bay. I think they're just too talented across the board for Detroit.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. Rodgers.
All right. So we all got the Packers for that game. No surprise. All right. These next two games, I didn't know who to pick. Next, we have the Bills at Dolphins. Now, I do believe the Bills are a better team, but divisional rival, anything can happen. And something just tells me, like I said, Fitz Magic might arrive. Who the hell knows? He might have a spectacular game. You know what I mean? But I said, I want to pick the Bills, but I always say I want to hear what you guys think of who might win this game. An easy pick would say the Bills. That would be the easy pick. That would be the safer pick.
Yeah.
All right, 11-5. We need you. 11-5. We need you.
So Jabari on this one. Yeah, we need 11-5 expertise.
I did pick the Bills, but that is the safer pick. Yeah, I just like the Bills, man. Just got to go with the Bills on this one. I think they have more consistent firepower. The Dolphins are good, but just not as consistent as the Bills. So, going with the Bills.
Yeah, I'm going with the Bills too. I think they got the better quarterback and just the better team overall.
Yeah, I do want to pick the Dolphins, but
I mean, they were my surprise. They were my surprise team to do well. Now they're not going up against the. Then again, they did face the number one possibly ranked defense. And the Patriots, they have another good defense against the Bills. It might just sorry, I'm just messing with somebody. It might just be even worse. So, like I said, I picked the Bills. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if the Dolphins win this one, though. I wouldn't be surprised.
I just think the Dolphins are just another year or two away. I think they just need another year of free agency. They need to get Tua in at quarterback. They need another year or two of good drafts, and then I think they're going to be in a good spot if they can keep the players that they have. But I just don't think this is their year. I think they have another rough year, and I think if they have a good draft, they had a heck of a free agency signing, but it's a quarterback-driven league, and at some point Tua will take over, and we'll see what he's got. But I just think right now, what you're going to get with Miami. I feel like, and I think Buffalo's a little bit more talented.
Do you think that Tua will actually eventually start?
If I was Miami, I wouldn't. Just because, what are you going to do? Do you think? I'm playing the long game if I'm Miami. Why rush him back? It was a bad injury. Originally when he hurt that hip, people were saying, he's a young kid, bright future ahead of him. I wouldn't rush him back. I'd want to make sure he's as healthy as he can be. I don't think it hurts to, for him to sit and kind of learn the playbook, do film study, start to see the speed of the game a little bit, understand the system and stuff like that. I would just sit him and, if they get beat up this year, they get a better draft pick, and they might be able to put a stud wide receiver with them, if they get a high draft pick or another piece around them. So, look, they're not going to the Super Bowl, right? They're not going on a deep playoff run this year. If Tua, they still are a few pieces away. So I just rest him, and, make sure that you look out for his future. He's the future of your franchise. So don't mess it up by throwing him in there too early and getting him hurt. That was a serious injury he had.
Yeah, big time fact. Big time facts. Yeah, you honestly just persuaded me because I'm thinking like he was probably going to start in the middle of the season, but it's like, what's the point? What you're not gonna make it anywhere. You're not gonna make it to the playoffs. So you gotta just save your future.
Yeah, and at that point, all the teams are gonna be cooking. So it's like, why throw them in there when everyone's cooking?
Give him a full off season too. With like a real training camp.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He didn't get to have any of that. It's just don't throw him to the wolves. You want to put him in a good position to succeed, and you don't want his confidence to be low if you throw him in there and he doesn't do well. He didn't have the reps. At least I wouldn't. I don't see. I think there's more downside than upside if you throw him in there.
Yeah. Very big time facts from Pat. So he persuaded my pick of saying, hey, Tua should probably be playing in the middle of the season. Nah, don't do that. Don't do that. Nah, don't do that. All right. So, next, Jabari. Jabari left. Where'd he go? Jabari, where'd you go? He's gonna be back.
I gotta get my charger real quick.
Okay. All right. So next thing we have Vikings at Colts. I didn't pick this one at all.
This one I wasn't sure about.
Oh, 11-5 wasn't sure.
This is a tough
I'll tell
one,
you
man.
who I had though.
But
I
you,
had what?
I don't know. I'm gonna say you
Yeah.
can start.
I have the Vikings on this one. I think their defense is going to outmuscle the Colts. I mean, they're both teams are fairly equal when it comes to offense, but I think the Vikings defense is going to edge it out for them.
It comes down to Philip Rivers' decision making because, like I said, that offensive line was still intact. Like that offensive line is still arguably the best in the game. They had a good running game going, but I would say Philip Rivers kind of killed that game last week. And you have Yannick on the other side of the ball. Yeah, you still have the good players on the Vikings defense, but having said all that, can we trust Kirk Cousins and get the job done? Like, I don't know. I mean, you have to have Dalvin Cook the ball.
Can you
Like,
trust Phillip Rivers? Can you trust Phillip Rivers after what he showed week 1? I don't know. This is a tough one. This was one of the hardest ones to pick. I think I'm convinced with what Jabari said. I think I'm going to go with the Vikings. It's weird because originally I was actually thinking Colts because I really like Frank Wright as a coach, and I think he does a good job of scheming, and I like his balance and I like his play calling. But I don't know. I do think Minnesota. I think Dalvin Cook gets rolling in week 2. I think he only had about 50 yards week 1. I think he kind of gets back on track, and I don't know. I just didn't like what I saw. RL, you were right. Like Philip Rivers didn't, 2 interceptions. He didn't look great, in his debut. So,
it's especially towards the game where it actually really mattered too. Like the first pick was bad, but then like the second pick was like even worse. Like that you needed a clean play on that game, and you ruined that. So, and like I said, I did like the Colts coming out of the AFC side because like I said I trusted Frank Wright more than I did trust the players. I understand it's week 1, but like they're pushing me away right now from picking the Colts. So, like I said, I don't want to be that odd guy out this week, so I'm gonna go with the Vikings too. Ryan has the Vikings as well too. They'll have a bounce back game. Like I said, they have too much. They have too much firepower on offense to not to lose this game. And like I said, Colts, when the pressure's on, Philip Rivers will lose it for you. So, and you would think, like I said, and I don't want to blame Frank Wright because, like I said, when he had Nick Foles, when my system Nick Foles, don't pass it to one person, pass it to everybody. Like don't do all the work by yourself. Like you have the team around you. Whereas Philip Rivers, it's like I think he's trying to take over the game at some point, and it kind of like. But then again, the Jags did pressure Philip Rivers a lot in that game, so. Yeah, I gotta give credit to the Jags defense on that game. But yeah, like I said, y'all persuaded me. I'm going with the Vikings as well too. All right, this game, I know I've already picked this person to win this game, but if they lose this game, if the Cardinals lose this game, I'm gonna be pissed because I'm gonna be like, God damn it! And I really gotta give Washington a lot of credit. I don't want to see Washington go 2-0 because
Washington going undefeated.
Unlike our coach, I'm pretty sure they're going to use play action for Kyler Murray, especially for his size and his speed, because the coach is smart. They don't want that small 5'9" guy stay in the pocket against this great Washington front 7. So I got the Cardinals, and I'll say this: if they have Ronald Darby covering Hopkins is going to have a field day with Darby. And Darby still hasn't shown he's not that great still. Like even Jalen Reagor being on that deep pass in the week 1. So if I'm the Arizona, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna attack Ronald Darby all day.
Yeah, I'm going Cards as well. I don't think Washington looked great in beating Philly. I think Philly looked bad. I don't think that the Eagles. Yeah, like that. I don't think that Washington imposed themselves on Philly. I think Philly just played a stupid game all the way around. Like they passed 4 times the amount that they ran. They became one-dimensional. They were predictable. And Washington was scoring off of turnovers on a short field. And as well as the 2 turnovers, they also went forward on 4th and 4, and they didn't convert. So they gave them 3 short fields where they went and got points.
Yeah.
Washington did not show an ability to move the ball and produce points on long, sustained drives. And I don't think the Cardinals are going to make it so easy on them. You know, they had the advantage of Philly just playing bad football, and they took advantage of it and they won. You know, good for them. But I don't think Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins and Kenyon Drake, they're not going to make it so easy for him. So I'm definitely picking Arizona.
And Arizona defense didn't play all that bad against 49ers either. It looked pretty decent.
You know, Kyler Murray ran the ball too. I mean, not only did he, hit Hopkins 14 times for 150 yards, I think he ran for like 90 yards too. So that's a whole other element that you got to worry about when you're playing them is Kyler Murray. Washington's going to have – that's a whole other type of game. I mean, it's Washington's defensive ends, Sweat and Young, they didn't have to respect keeping containment. Like when you play defensive end, that's that changes everything when you have to think. Like you're not just reacting. Like against the Eagles, they just reacted because every play is a pass. And Carson Wentz isn't Kyler Murray where he's going to bounce it out the pocket. He's going to run and do these kinds of things. Like now you got to sit back and you got to think. And that's where it's a challenge for a rookie defensive end when you have to kind of think and you're playing at the NFL game speed. It's a whole different challenge and a different element. So it's going to be a completely different game for those guys. It's not going to be nearly as easy.
Nope.
Yeah, you pretty much said it all. Cardinals have too much firepower.
It's not like I said. Like Pat's football IQ is off the charts with this shit right here. Like he studies this shit more than I do. Like I know my shit, but Pat be like full blown on that shit, man. Pause. But like
except I lost so many games last week. So what does that mean? I didn't do nothing for me last week. I was football IQ, I got like a D last week. So, I don't know. I'm just fronting.
He still can't even say what his record was last week because he's too ashamed to show it. It's that bad.
I was too ashamed to look, dude. I saw the bottom. I was watching the games as they were going. First off, I was depressed when the Eagles lost that game. I'm like, this is just terrible. And then on top of it, I'm looking at I switch over to Red Zone, and I'm like, oh my God, my picks are awful. So it was just a bad. I'm just hoping for a better day tomorrow all the way around. That'd be great.
What happens if the Eagles win and your picks are like all bad? How would you feel about that?
I'd be happy that the Eagles won, and I'd be just like, all right, I got to start studying these games a little bit closer to redeem myself week 3. I could deal with that. I could deal with that. If the Eagles lose again in the fashion that they lose, that's the thing with the Eagles. They lose in ways where you're like they didn't get they just lose in aggravating ways. Like, you're winning 17-0 and you play stupid. You coach stupid. You call dumb plays. You give the game away. Like that's painful to me. Like that's you're sitting there on the couch like, man, this is easy. You're up 17, run the clock and just punt the ball and make them work for these points. It was just that was heartbreaking to watch. Like they're giving the game away.
Yeah, it's bad. It's sad. Anyway, we'll move on before we get more pissed. So next game, Ravens.
Hey, don't take me back.
Oh yeah, we already talked about the way too many times. So we'll sing a new tune right now. So next game we got the Ravens at Texans. Now, originally I'm picking the Ravens, right? But now I'm saying, are the Texans really going to go 0-2? Are they really going to go 0-2? Because I will say this, like I said, the Ravens just have too many firepower, man. Like I just don't see how that Texans defense is going to stop Lamar and the crew. Like if you want to talk about missing DeAndre Hopkins, man, you're definitely gonna miss DeAndre Hopkins in this game once again against that Ravens defense, like Marcus Peters and Humphrey. Like I understand you got Brandon Cooks, who's a good speedster, but like is he gonna stay healthy? I don't know. But Ravens just got too many guys on that team. Texans, like I said, it's honestly just Deshaun Watson doing everything. You know what I mean? Like he's one of those quarterbacks where it's like I gotta pull everything together. No one's gonna do shit for me because their defense is still bad. Yeah, you got JJ Watt, but like their defense ain't all that great. Unless he's got firepower on offense, but I just think missing DeAndre Hopkins is gonna hurt him still. And like I said, Ravens just have too many guys on offense, and Davis for them to even compete. I honestly like. It could just be like last year, how the Ravens destroyed the Texans last year. Granted, there's no home crowd or anything like that, but I can potentially see the Ravens, destroying the Texans, and then you could be like in Houston, like Bill, like their coach, like he might be on the hot seat. I honestly, no, fuck that. He will be on the hot seat after this week because the Texans are gonna go home too. That's my hot take. Bill O'Brien will be on the hot seat after this game.
Well, to be fair, like these are the two tough first two games for the Texans, the Chiefs and the Ravens. True. To be fair, that's kind of tough,
True.
But
It's true.
with that said, I do think the Texans are still going to lose. So
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I learned my lesson going against Lamar and the Ravens last week.
Yeah, me too.
Trying to be slick and whatnot, and I thought maybe, after that rough playoff game for Lamar, maybe messes with his confidence a little bit, but he came out and played like a stud. He had 3 touchdown passes, looked good. I just don't think that – I don't think there's enough pieces around Watson right now to keep up. Like, if we're going score for score, I just don't see it happening. I think Baltimore is just more well-rounded, better defense, better offense. So I'm going Baltimore.
Yeah.
Who do the Texans play next?
Ooh, let's see.
Who the Texans play next?
Yeah.
Let me see. Texans.
I'm going to say Texans schedule.
Yeah, I'll check it out real quick. They got the Vikings.
No, they got the Steelers next.
Oh, they got the Steelers. Then
We got the Steelers next.
Then
Dang, they might get 0-3. They might go 0-3.
Yeah, they got a rough
That's bad
start.
luck.
They got
That's bad luck.
Kansas. They had KC. They lost. They got Baltimore. Then they got Pittsburgh. Then they got Minnesota, Jacksonville. Then they got Tennessee and Green Bay. That's a rough start.
That's definitely a rough start.
0-1, 0-2. They could be 0-3. I mean, dude, they could be 0-4. Honestly, they could lose Minnesota. They could be 0-4. Maybe get a win at Jack 1-4. We're looking at being like maybe 2-5. 1-6.
And I like
that's a tough start.
Yeah, and I like Watson too. They're not doing too much around them to help them. Like they're like your GM plus the general manager. Like I don't know what the hell he's doing. Like he's
I will say, with Watson, I want to see what he does. I've seen he gets compared a lot to Wentz. That's a popular comparison, and I think that, when you play with DeAndre Hopkins for your first few years, that does a lot for you. And Carson Wentz hasn't had like that kind
never
of,
had that receiver.
Power. No, and I saw him will the Eagles to the playoffs last year playing with scrubs, playing with backups, playing with guys that were quarterbacks in college at wide receiver, playing with, practice squad Perkins out there at, a tight end that's lined up at wide receiver. You have a running back that nobody wanted, that played well. But I mean, like, I want to see it. I want to see. I'm not saying I need to see. You're going to go to the playoffs, but I want to see Watkins play well. I want him to show that he's still that guy. Because if you're that guy, I mean, everybody needs a little bit of help this day and age, and when you play the quarterback, But I want to see some respectable numbers out of him and show what he does without Hopkins, because I think it's a big test for him. There's going to be years where you just don't have that number one receiver, and this is his test. So I want to see how he does.
That's true. Listen, will you be surprised if they win this game?
I won't be shocked because I still believe in Watson. And maybe it'll prove that he needs more help around him. I think the Ravens are going to carry him, and pulled some magic. I wouldn't be stunned, but I just, I think it's the deck's weight against them,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, yeah, so you guys show that said they paid you, you know what I mean? Like and at the same time, like, I'm not sure how much they're beating themselves over this, but they could have won that game against the Chiefs. That was their game to take. I don't know what the coaching too. Like
it was a good game, you know.
What's up?
Yeah, it was a good game. Yeah.
Like against the playoff, well, not the kickoff game, but the playoff game. Like they were up by so many points, and Grant, I don't want to blame Watson again. I put that more on the coach, honestly. Like I just don't think Bill O'Brien and him mix well together. That's just my opinion. That's my take on it, though. But like I said, we'll see if they can get the job done tomorrow. But like I said, we're all picking the Ravens tomorrow. But like I said, I won't be shocked if they win because you know what I mean. They're not going to want to go down 0-2. All right. So next game, I think there's no debate about this. Chiefs at Chargers. I think we all got to choose for this game.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in the division with the Chiefs, I mean, you're like, oh god, here we go. Let's just take the L already. Why not bother play? Why bother playing? You know what I mean? Why bother? So I don't think we're gonna spend too much time on that. Now this game,
not much to say really.
Yeah, this game, I don't know. This is definitely the hardest game for me to pick this week.
Patriots Seahawks, is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Well, there's no 12th man for this one, and history has shown Wilson has always had the upper hand, has always been Cam each year. Like I think Cam's only being Russell Wilson twice. Once in the regular season and once in the playoffs. But other than that, though, Seattle has always gotten Cam's number. Now, even with or without the Legion of him, Russell wasn't just like owns the soul of Cam Newton. Now, granted, Cam's got Bill Belichick. He's got the defense, and what concerns what concerns me with Russell Wilson is that he was the leading rusher on that game against Seattle. Against the Falcons. But granted, though, even if you take the running game away from Wilson, he'll still beat you with his arm. He's still got the talent. Like, don't get me wrong, Stephen Gilmore's the best corner right now, but him and DK Metcalf, man, that's going to be a tough matchup right there for him. Like, that's going to be a really interesting matchup. And Wilson, that line is still bad. Like, he was still getting a good amount of hits. Then he got hit, it was a decent amount of times. Like the hits that Wilson takes concerns me.
It's tough, man.
There's a tough one right here. Like I said, there's no 12th man either, so you can forget about the noise. So like honestly, like I said, no home attendance crowd. It's not really gonna play in the Seahawks' favor. But I don't know if like I said, who was Bill Belichick gonna mainly take away? DK Metcalf? Because I don't know. I mean, granted, Wilson's being the Patriots before. No, that was different. He had a Legion of Boom, so I'm not sure. Damn, this one's tough.
I think I said last week. I think this is Wilson's year that he finally gets that MVP trophy. I think he's the best quarterback in the league.
He does more with less. He does more with less. Yeah. He's been doing that.
I'm a huge believer in him. I think he's, like you were saying, bad offensive line play, doesn't matter. He balls out. Leading rusher, he balls out. I also like I was saying last week too, I do like I'm not just going to roll over and pick Buffalo or somebody, I think the Patriots with Cam, I think Cam coming back, I think you have a great combination of Cam's motivated and you have a coach that's going to know how to play to his strengths. And they're going to, and they did last week. They didn't ask him to do too much in his first game back. I think he threw the ball maybe 19 or 20 times, which is perfect position they put him in. And he ran 2 touchdowns. He was the leading rusher for New England last week. They let him do his thing. I think, the Patriots are going to win up. They're going to, after seeing what I saw, I know it's only 1 week, but I feel a lot more comfortable picking them to win the division. I like Russ, man. I like the Seahawks to win the game. I think it's gonna be close, and it could go either way. But I'm a huge Russell Wilson fan. I think he's the best.
And Bill Belichick has said it perfectly. He is underappreciated. He is underrated. Like he
I
is.
think Bill might have said he's the best quarterback, right? Actually, now that you point that out, did he say that? He's the best quarterback in the league in that
He,
press conference this week?
he might have. And I said you think about no disrespect to Patrick Mahomes, like yeah, you want to have the talent around you and it's as a team, but like you got he's got Travis Kelce, he's got Sammy Watkins, he's got the Cheetah. Like he's got all that talent, which like
Tyreek Hill, yeah,
A
man.
lot of weapons, yeah.
yeah, he's got no wrong. Patrick Mahomes is that dude, but like what you see from Wilson year after year after year, like
He's a winner.
he is a winner, man. Like, and just the thing about this, the first couple of years are like, man, that Seattle defense is carrying that team. I think he showed it his third year in 2014. Like he was showing that, yo, I can carry this team too. Remember, they were down. Again, I understand a little bit of coaching, but they were down in that game against the Packers in the NFC Championship, and he showed that year that yo, I can do this, and he's just gotten better each year. Like he's never had a bad year. He's never had a bad year. I mean, I don't know he hasn't won a lot of championship, but like he's never had a bad year. Like he had a lot of hurt guys on the running game against Packers. Like he probably could have won that game in Green Bay. So before I make my pick, though, I'm gonna let you speak on that before I make my pick.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's gonna be a brawl for sure. But I have the Patriots on this one. I just really believe in their defense on this. It's gonna be a close one, like I said, but I really believe in their defense. I think Cam Newton really adds an interesting element to the game with his running. So I just think they got an edge on this.
I wouldn't be surprised either way. However it plays out, I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
It's gonna come down to it's gonna be a close one. It's gonna be hard fought.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, Ryan has Seahawks. So I'm gonna make this even. I'm gonna go pick the Patriots right now. Make this one even right now. Because you already got 11-5. So we have somehow pick against.
I was about to say, yeah. You're going with 11-5. You're not going to make it even.
But like I gotta get some wins too. But like I'll be happy though. And I'm just gonna say this. I'm happy to see a lot of black quarterbacks being shown in the league right now. It's we never had this many before in a long time. As far as I can remember, they're actually like legit starters. I mean, I understand Tyrod Taylor's starting, but he's really not like a starter per se. But like, I'm just happy to see this shit, man. Real talk.
No, good.
And
maybe Haskins. But...
Haskins. Pretty good. This is slow, man. Dude is slow. Like, god dang, bro. You have some type of speed on you, man. Like, Haskins is slow.
Yeah.
God dang. Even my dad was, yo, how's this black guy slow? My dad was like that.
He's big, dude. He's big, man. He's a big dude.
Yeah. Haskins even said himself that like he's not a fast guy either. So hey, he said it, so I mean, we can't be surprised if he actually said it. You know what I mean? That's funny. All right, so we're gonna go half and half. What'd you say, Pat?
I'll just say he's gonna have to be a pocket passer.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna be able to be relying on that.
God damn, he ain't got no slave feet or anything like that. All right, so we got the last game of the week. I think this might be an easy one. Saints at Raiders. I like the Saints. I would just love for the crowd to be there. Like, yo, I don't know if you know about this, Pat. I'm more looking to the future right now. So if things go well for 2021, the Eagles face the AFC West, and I believe they're going to go to Vegas against the Raiders. So I'm gonna try to go to Las Vegas next year for that Eagles game in Las Vegas, man. Those Eagles fans will take that place over, dog.
That stadium looks their new stadium looks fire. I've seen like videos of it. Like when you drive past it from the outside, it literally looks like a it's all blacked out and it looks like almost like a spaceship or something, dude. It's crazy like how it looks. Dude, that's like that's that old school. It has that old school Oakland Raider like mean vibe to it. When you go past it, you're like, damn. Like if they can get them like a mean defense to go along, like they'll have that intimidation factor with them fans and like that stadium, like that would be swagged out if they get like, you know, if they start balling and get a mean defense going, like an old school Gruden defense, like when he was in Tampa with like Derek Brooks and John Lynch and Simeon Rice and those dudes, like, man, that'll be a bomb place to play.
They actually they could, because you think about it, they have like the young talent on offense. So like maybe in the draft next year, free agency, they might focus on, you know, defensive players. But yeah, man, that stadium looks. Oh, even the LA stadium looks pretty nice. Things like $5 billion. Like, I'm broke. Makes me like, I'm broke, guys. I got money like that. Even Jerry Jones is probably like, God damn, man, that's $5 billion. Shit.
Jerry Jones about to do like a whole new upgrade to his stadium just so he could say it's worth more.
It would surprise me.
Can't get shown up.
It wouldn't surprise me. Jerry Jones wants to be a target of the attention. So, I mean, why wouldn't he not do that? Yeah. But no, that's it. I got this. You know what I mean? Like, the Raiders, they're going to go 1-1. Now, if they win this game, that would be a miracle. But, like I said, Saints is one of the best teams in the NFL right now. I don't see Derek Carr having a season against these guys.
Yeah. And the Raiders played pretty good, too. Like, really good. But still.
So, yeah. But
they don't have enough to beat the Saints.
They don't have enough to beat the Saints now. Like I say, I think unless it Ryan's got the Saints too. So I think we all got the Saints. I don't think well then again, Ryan's not. If Ryan was with us, he probably would have had like maybe a different choice in the matter. But yeah, there's only maybe one game when he picked against us, and I think that was the which game was that?
Broncos one.
Yeah, Broncos. Yeah, that's the Broncos one. Yeah, he picked against the Broncos on that one. He only picked the Broncos.
He went Broncos over the Steelers. Yeah, he went Broncos over the Steelers on that.
Yeah, like that. I mean, he's a brave soul for that one. I don't know how, but I mean,
he picked Bears over the Giants too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you know, like I said, I was going to pick the Bears just after watching them against Detroit. They just didn't look good.
Yeah, they barely won. Yeah.
They should, honestly, when you think about it, they should have lost that game. When you really think about it, they should have lost that game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's to hoping for a better tomorrow for myself, for my own reputation and credibility sake.
Yeah, I mean, if Pat doesn't do so well, he might not come on the podcast next week.
I'm gonna wear a bag on my head like the Browns, the old school Browns. Used to do. If I don't start doing myself, I'm gonna do the picks next week with like one of the bags on the head, dude.
Yeah, if I do terrible, I might make a new name for myself next week. Like, hey, RL die right now. It's gonna be Ralph Lawrence. You know what I mean? I don't know.
RL, there is no RL. It's back to Robert Lewis after next week.
Go back to the full first name, Robert Lewis.
Robert L, like Stephen A. Got to go full scholar mode.
Yeah.
RL died a long time ago with his picks because he couldn't get anything right. Like, it just sucks, man. That's one of the reasons why I don't fucking play fantasy, because it's like, oh, yeah, I got this good set. I should be good. No, they fuck it all up for me. Like, a lot of people pick Michael Thomas. He's going to be out for a couple of games now, so that fantasy dropped. Like,
yeah.
Injuries are a killer, man. Like, do I want to win some money in fantasy football? Yeah, but I just get too fucking stressed out for that, man.
Nah, dude, we're Eagles fans. Injuries are just a given.
Well, I like what you said though last week. I don't think there's an injury we got. It's a coaching thing. I think
at a certain point, it's just like, I don't believe in just bad luck year over year. Like, I mean, look, you could have bad luck one year. I mean, but like repeated bad luck to me, like that's not repeated bad luck. That's a pattern. And like at some point there has to be accountability and be like, what are we doing as coaches? I mean, even this week, it's like, load management for Deshaun Jackson. Like what? Like is he Joel Embiid all of a sudden? Like, you know, you got to
It's
load
not,
manage
it's not the
Deshaun Jackson.
NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you know, he played half the snaps, and like even like this week, there's players that were just like given the days off for rest. I'm like, bro, like Andy Reid never, like, if you went to those practices in Lehigh, like as a kid, I went there and watched like Dawkins and Trotter, like they lit dudes up in practice, like they hit, but you know what, like, and you would lose a guy or two for the year, like there'd be a torn ACL. I mean, it happens, like. But Doug is like, scared money don't make no money, as they say. Like you try to, you know, hands hold these guys, and their bodies aren't ready for combat, dude. Like week one rolls around, and you got someone, you've been going half speed all in training camp, and you got a guy that's going 100, trying to take your head off. Your body's not ready for it. Like you have to be game ready for games, and like he's trying to be so conservative to make sure he doesn't lose a key player in training camp, that like guys drop like flies in the first couple of weeks. And I just think at a certain point, it's like, bro, like you can't be scared. Like you're going to lose some guys in camp and in the preseason, but that like you look at the Chiefs, like, man, they're healthy. Andy Reid runs a vigorous training camp, man. Guys get hit. And, but you know what? They're ready when week one rolls around. They're in game shape. And that's the biggest thing. These aren't like broken bone injuries, they're soft tissue injuries, they're ligament injuries. Like these are signs of guys that are like not in shape, like game shape anyway, you know, like pulled hamstrings, like we were saying, RL, like you sprinted, man, like you know this, man, like that pulled hamstring is your body you didn't stretch out enough, or you weren't, you know, like,
and
yeah, like, you know,
you're not working out either, man. Like you got to work out to your fullest potential with that. Especially with these rookies.
I mean, if they were,
like,
if these were a bunch of broken bones, I'd say, oh man, bad luck. I mean, you can't, you know, a broken bone's a broken bone.
Yeah.
But like these are different kinds of injuries. You know, concussions are concussions. You know, like you can't, you know, work out for, you know get in shape and prevent a concussion. Yeah. But these aren't those kinds of injuries. These are guys like with ankle injuries and like ligament injuries and things like that, like a repeated pattern year over year over year. And I'm like, I just think Doug they tried to do the opposite with the Chip Kelly thing. You know, like Chip was too much, and the players went to Jeffrey Lurie, and they were like, this guy is too much with the.
Like they practice hard. Like I think Kerry Williams was saying that we practice really hard the day before the game or something like that.
Yeah, and he was also making them, you know, he was making them wear those trackers when they sleep to make sure that they're getting like the full 8-9 hours of sleep, and you know they all had. Yeah, they needed to eat on a certain diet, and like the players were just turned off by it. They were like, it's too much, like, you know. And I feel like when they hired Doug, they wanted to make sure they went and did. They wanted to
get anywhere away from the Chip Kelly mindset. Now, I do think it is a little bit too much, the whole tracker thing, but you can't see the benefits of why you would do that. But Andrew wasn't anything like that, you know what I mean? Like he wouldn't do that to the extreme, but. No, I see what you're saying. I like that. And speaking of running backs, do you like seeing that they might see Devontae Freeman next week?
Yeah, I think it'll have a lot to do with. I mean, I've been hearing Devontae Freeman has been holding out for some money. You know, like he can play, and there's teams have been inquiring for him. You know, like I heard the Seahawks were looking at him, and he was asking for too much money. We were looking at him earlier in the offseason. He heard he was asking for too much money. But with what we showed in pass protection with our running backs, it just, I mean, like I was saying, that's the other thing too. You know, like Doug, the coaching wasn't there, but we also showed that from a GM perspective, like we didn't do our job to get depth. Like we've missed on draft pick after draft pick after draft pick, and you got a bunch, and it's showing. Like the salary cap is going to be restricted next year because of COVID. You know, we weren't able to go out and sign all these free agents like we normally would to make up for poor drafting. And, you know, I just think, you know, we don't have the depth there. So I think, you know, if we struggle again, I think they'll give in and they'll pay Freeman what he wants to try to save the season. But if Miles Sanders balls out and he's feeling healthy after the game, I don't know. It depends on how much Freeman wants. You know, I've heard he wants some big money.
Right. All right, and Jabari. So I know we're talking about the Eagles right now, but my other thing is that game against the Steelers. Did you like Jason Garrett's play calling? Because everyone's was talking about Jason Garrett like the next day because they said that Jason Garrett's a better offense coordinator, just not the best coach.
I mean, it's just tough to say against that Steelers defense. I thought his coaching was all right. I thought he's doing his thing. I mean, it's just there's no preseason, and it was just against the Steelers, so it was a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that front was just all over him.
Yeah.
It was all over. But I mean, no, I think they'll get better. Like I said, it's only week one, so it's like nothing too extreme to that matter. So man, that's like kind of it for today. Y'all got like any like last minute words, anything like that? Hopefully I get a better. Hopefully I have a better take.
Go Giants.
Go
Go
Giants.
Giants.
Hopefully everyone in NFC East will be like 1-1. We'll be 1-1, and Cowboys will be 0-2. So like I said, if the Cowboys are 0-2, that'll be funny to me. Hopefully, I guess the Washington Eagles and Giants will be 1-1.
Yeah, I'm just hoping for fun. I'm just hoping for a fun Sunday, man. It was brutal last week for me, so all across the board. So I just want a good day. That's all.
Yeah.
I hope you all have a good day. You guys have a good day. You know.
That's all I want to ask.
I want for
Wait,
I want for everybody.
Yeah. Wait, Pat, I forgot. I think I asked you this before. I know you told me, but I forgot your answer. So, how do you get the games? How do you get the Eagles game down there again in Florida?
Okay, so I met this dude at the barbershop.
Sketchy.
Yeah, you already know where this is going.
I'm sorry, right here.
At the barbershop.
I met this dude at the barbershop, and he goes, he had like on the TV, he had like, this was like last year when the Sixers were in the playoffs. He had like the Sixers game on, and I'm like, man, where do you know, like, what you got hooked up like in here, man? You got like all the, you got all these games on all the time and stuff. And he goes, yo, my boy makes these boxes, and he was like, you can stream like whatever. And he was like, so I'm like, for real? Like, let me see this thing. And he hooks me up, like, lets me play around with this little, dope remote that he got. And I'm like, this is cool. I'm like, yo, like, you think he'd hook me up with one of these for, if I paid? He was like, yeah, for sure. So it was like $300 to get this box. And the way I looked at it is, I'm like, is this shit gonna break? Like the next day? And he was like, no, like, I was like, cable costs like what, like $100 or $70 or whatever a month. So I'm like, even if the shit only lasts 3 to 4 months, I've made my money back. Like, I would have lost that at the cable anyway. So I'm like, all right, like, let me try this out. And lo and behold, it's worked, and it's super cool. I mean, the dude lives in Clearwater, and he streams this stuff. I don't know how he makes it all work the way he does. He says it's 100% legit, legal. So I asked him. So they got a website and everything I went on. So I'm like, it's all good, it's all legit. But yeah, so I got this box, and it's pretty cool. He puts, he has all the streams up there for all the games. So I paid that money to get it, and it's still working a year and change later. So I hope it works tomorrow. Knock on wood. I hope everything's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's how I've been watching. There's also an Eagles bar. It's about 5 minutes from my house, 8 minutes exactly. So if anything, like if the the streams are bad or whatever, yeah, it's weird. It's an Eagle bar. It's an Eagle bar and an Alabama bar. So it's like, I don't know how that works, but I was like, let me Google and just see. I mean, the Eagles got such a fan base, and they have it's all greened out and stuff. So I was like, if anything goes wrong with this, I'll just shoot it over, because I don't pay for cable, man. Like, I just was like, when I first moved down here, like you said, we're poor. I was like, I pay for the internet, and that's it.
Yeah.
Because of work, and like, I need the internet. And I was like, I can, even for a minute with that, I didn't even have that. I was doing the hotspot. I was using my hotspot on my phone. So luckily I was able to get some internet now. But yeah, man, I just was like, I don't need to be watching TV. I can read or some shit, or try to get better at my job or whatever. So You know, I can always go to a bar for games and stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
so far so good.
I don't have cable either, but I got this thing that I use, like this site. Probably say it off air, but to hook you guys up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to say,
I'll
I
tell
got
you guys
this
later.
site. That doesn't sound much better than
Sketchy too,
barber
right?
shop. Yeah. So I'm not saying the name of where I got my stuff either.
No. You don't want to be a 6'9" and snitch. No, don't be a 6'9".
No, man. I got a legit service down here is what I got. A legit business.
Why did this part out?
Yeah.
So everyone, I usually say thanks for you guys for joining. Everyone, thank you guys for listening and watching us. You know what I mean? Like, this has been fun so far. Like I said, it's just more fun when we have better outcomes for our teams and our results. So that's all I can really say about it.
Yeah.
So everyone, thank you guys for joining in today. Really appreciate it. And all you fans, see you guys next week. Like I said, either do this Friday or Saturday. Hopefully we might have the full crew or might have the crew. Like I said, regardless though, always be talking about this with somebody. So I'm not going to be by myself. Hopefully not. So everyone, all you Nuggets family and friends, y'all take care. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.